Good evening, everybody. We're going to call the meeting to order. Could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Okay, let's do roll call.
Megan Levine,
Angela Ramo,
Maria Venuto.
Leah Leone,
Maureen Jimenez.
Ava Scaiola.
5. Yeah, Lynn's not here, nor is Ann. Okay, can I get a motion on the minutes? Angela and Megan? Any comments on the minutes at all? No? All in favor of approving them? That's 5. Okay, and we have no committee reports this evening, but so that takes us to the superintendent's report.
I am very excited about the superintendent's report tonight. So first, I just want to remind everyone, it's on our website, but you know that we have a new field and the new spring season is beginning. And although we're going to have a number of ribbon cuttings for a number of different projects that are ongoing once they come to fruition, our first ribbon cutting will be on the field right before the lacrosse game on March 19th at 4:15 p.m. Please note that if there is rain, of course there's going to be, this rain is ridiculous these days, but if there's rain, we will have the ribbon cutting the following day before the girls' varsity lacrosse game. So that will be March 20th at 4 p.m. Okay? I do have to, I'm going to try to do this in the order, but I'm already out of order. On March 20th, no, I'm sorry, on March 10th, I was invited, as was Mr. Hudson and many other administrators in the district, to the Arts Supervisors Association All-County Exhibit to be held this Sunday, March 10th at Clark High School. From our district, we will have 18 students who will be displaying work. The work will be from Landing School, Connolly School, middle school, and a number of students from the high school. So we are very, very excited about seeing their work on display. And I have gone to these in the past. It is remarkable. So if you'd like to see some students really put forth their professional work, please try to get to that particular exhibit. All right. Now, I'm just going to make one more announcement. I know that many people want to have, or did not get to experience homecoming this year, and may not be able to come to a lacrosse game in the middle of the week. So the Board of Education and the high school PTA, as well as the Booster Club, came together with the athletic director and the high school principal, and we are putting together what we'd like to call a community day. There will be, it will be a Saturday where the PTA has generously volunteered to put on a mini carnival. The Booster Club will be selling refreshments, and we will have several games starting at 3 p.m. Now, here's the nice part. There is a tradition in our district that our students play one time a year at Citi Field, and so they will be there at 7 p.m. that evening. The baseball, I believe it is. So boys varsity baseball. So Plan your your May 14th by coming out and experiencing the mini carnival, watching some of the games on our new field, and then getting a bite to eat and going downtown to Citi Field to watch our boys play. So it's going to be a fun-filled day, lots of events happening, but please, please, please understand that we are going to be putting this on Parent Squared, on our website, and out to the community in any way possible. So if in fact you are not able to get the information this evening, you can play back this board meeting or go on to our board website, our district website, to get the information. Lots of good things happening. But here is the highlight of the superintendent's report this evening. I was asked to speak to a performance, a mini performance that is happening this evening. It is my pleasure to introduce students from the Foundations in Dance class at the Glen Cove High School for a special performance. As part of the new dance program at the high school, the Foundations in Dance class introduces students to various styles of dance, from hip-hop to salsa to ballet, and it encourages students to be actively involved in the artistic process of creating, performing, and responding to dance. These students have worked tirelessly at rehearsing this dance piece, and they are beyond excited to be able to share it with their community this evening. As part of the unit of study this year, students explored the roots of jazz and music and worked collaboratively with their teacher. I know I'm going to make a mess out of these names, so I'm sorry. Mr. Nadal, I'm going to ask you later to do this again. But Ms. Damasic, to create this work, which showcases theatrical jazz choreography. The piece explores themes of hope, resilience, and transformative power of love. Thank you to all who helped this coordination and production this evening, including Mr. Nadal, Ms. D, Ms. J, Mr. Leftwich, Gianna Gonzalez, and Phoebe George. Without further delay, I'm going to start talking, and I'm going to warmly welcome Elizabeth Casco, Michaelia Leah Chestnut, Ava Lema, Alyssa St. Eloy, Valentina Canales Aguilar, and Tisha Perkins to the stage to perform Love Again with music by Dua Lipa.
got me in love again. You got me in love. Hi, I'm Eva Lima, and I'm in 10th grade.
Hi, I'm Letitia Perkins, and I'm in 10th grade.
Hi, I'm Michaela Leah Chestnut, and I'm in 10th grade.
Hi, I'm Liz Casco, and I'm in 10th grade.
Hi, I'm Alyssa St. Eloy, and I'm in 12th grade.
Hi, my name is Valentina Canales, and I'm a 10th grader.
And are your teachers back there? Oh, there she is. Okay. I thought you were going around. And thank you so much for the work that you do with our students. Thank you. So, ladies, one last question. Thumbs up or thumbs down, should we continue with these courses? Oh, I knew that was coming. Thank you so much. And now, to give us a bit of an update for our Fine Arts program and all that we have put in place this school year, may I have Mr. Nadal come up to the podium? It's coming.
Oh, no.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Lawrence Nadell. I'm the District Coordinator of Fine and Performing Arts here at Glen Cove City School District. It is a pleasure to see everyone, to be with everyone again tonight. And first off, I just want to start by congratulating again our fine young dancers that just came on stage from Foundations in Dance. I am so impressed with these young women. There are 7 of them, and this is their first dance course, most of them. This is the first time that many of them are taking dance, and it's amazing what these young ladies can do. So I'm really happy that we were able to share that tonight, and I want to thank Ms. Damashak and Ms. Janiak for really spearheading this and getting this program off the ground and making it a really exceptional opportunity for our students.
Thank you.
Just waiting for the...
I know. Harrison, are you going to help? Harris?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Okay.
All right, so good evening. Welcome to our Fine and Performing Arts highlights for this school year. Many, many beautiful things and many wonderful things are going on in our district, and so it's my pleasure to be able to share these wonderful things with you. So we're going to discuss many of the accomplishments and recognitions that are being made by our students and our faculty this school year in visual art, music, theater, dance, and the media communications television program. Visual arts. We were able to, based on our partnership with Savannah College of Art and Design, We were chosen as one school in the one school in the Northeast that had 10 students that could be selected to represent Glen Cove in Atlanta, Georgia at SCAD. And so these students will be going to the Savannah College of Art and Design, and SCAD is actually going to be hosting them and providing all of the accommodations and programming for their trip there. In addition, we have expanded our visual art program to pre-K this school year. Many of our students are experiencing visual art and authentic arts experiences from pre-kindergarten on. 3 students were chosen for the Art Guild exhibit in Nassau County, which is held in Port Washington. That was in October. Once again, Glen Cove High School has achieved participation in the World Finals for Junk Couture for the 2nd year in a row. That same student was also named Long Island Scholar Artist of the Year, as well as the Huntington Fine Arts recipient. 2 students were chosen to display their work at the Huntington Arts Council alongside their visual arts teacher. We had 2 students who were in our photography program who had their work on display with a faculty member. In addition, we have expanded our ceramics program thanks to GC Fame. They have contributed and donated quite a bit of supplies to our ceramics program so that we can strengthen the visual arts. In addition, our ceramics program has also visited the Assisted Senior Living Center this holiday season, and you'll see some pictures from that coming up shortly. And in addition, as Dr. Rihanna has shared, we have 18 visual artists that were nominated for the Art Supervisors Association All-County exhibit this year. Here are some photographs. On the left, you'll see on the top, that's from the ceramics project that they brought to the Assisted Senior Living Center. Phoebe George in the middle at the Art Guild, Natalia Monsale at the Art Guild. That's Phoebe Pinder's painting underneath that. Also from the Art Guild, Natalia Monsale, who went on to the World Finals for Junk Couture in the middle. On the left, Ms. Dowdy made a beautiful Black History Month creation, which was an interdisciplinary effort with the performing arts programming, as well as on the right, you'll see our ceramics program put a beautiful display in honor of Veterans Day. All right. This year, I'm very proud as the district coordinator to announce that we have 41 students that went to all-county this year. That's amazing. 41 students who achieved all-county status as musicians. 4 of our students from Glen Cove also were honored at the Long Island String Festival Association for their work and involvement in the orchestra programs. We had one Glen Cove student who was honored as an alternate for NISMA in Rochester. Our mixed chorus was on News 12 Long Island recently. I don't know if you saw it, but a beautiful, beautiful segment where our mixed chorus performed for Black History Month on the risers right here in our pit in honor of Black History Month. We also have expanded our music program in the sense of inventory and technology. We've piloted an implementation with Takapo Inventory, where our teachers and faculty are supported by getting the resources and technology they need to provide instruments to students across the district. We've also been working with MPAPA, our performing arts organization at the high school, to enhance programming and arts opportunities for our students. In fact, they are having a cafe night, open mic night, coming up soon for our high school students. In addition, our music ensembles, such as Select Chorale, Drumline, Jazz Band, they've performed multiple events this year serving the Glen Cove community. Here are some photographs. On the top left, you'll see our jazz band that performed at the hospital, Glen Cove Hospital, in December. Our drumline performed at the Martin Luther King celebration in January on the top right. In the middle, we have our beautiful, beautiful Gribben students who are singing and excited about their authentic arts experiences. On the bottom left, we have our Division I all-county students. And then on the bottom right is our wonderful mixed chorus that performed recently for Black History Month. Theater and dance. Theater and dance are both brand new programs to Glen Cove and wonderful opportunities and experiences for our students that they've never had before. The Laramie Project was in November, and it went worldwide in its media for its presentation of a powerful docudrama. We had Dennis Shepard, the father of the young man who was tragically killed, and the show is based around. His father joined us virtually, and we met with some really powerful figures and advocates that helped to unpack the theater experience for the audience. In addition, theater is now offered in partnership with the Education Foundation at the elementary level, which we haven't done. At the elementary level, we just had the Jungle Book Kids at Landing, and it's coming soon to Connolly Elementary. Student-centered learning in the theater. In the theater arts, our students are learning everything about the theater. They are taking on active roles in productions. For instance, you will see that tonight we had students running the lighting. We have students running sound. These are things that have never happened before in Glen Cove. We have students taking on roles as stage managers, as assistant directors, as technicians in Glen Cove for the very first time, because we have a wonderful, wonderful program here that's happening. In addition, our Foundations in Dance performance was also featured on News 12 Long Island for Black History Month, our brand new dance program. And also our brand new dance program did a big sister, big brother, little sister, little brother program with Findlay Middle School to engage them in the arts discipline of dance, where our students actually went from the high school to the middle school to teach them some interesting choreography. Here are some photographs from theater and dance. On the top left, you'll see the cast of the Laramie Project. In the middle, the talkback flyer that was used, with all of our special guests for a very, very special talkback. On the top right, we have our cast of the Jungle Book at Landing Elementary. On the bottom left, the Foundations in Dance students who performed at Black History Month. In the middle, our dance students who went on a trip to actually see the ballet, a real ballet in the city, in Midtown Manhattan. And also we have on the bottom right, that's our big brother, big sister, little sister experience from the high school dance students with middle school dance students working together to learn their choreography. Media and television. For media and television, our outstanding television studio that's on the second floor at Glen Cove High School. As you see tonight, we have students recording and live streaming all of our district events. Our students in our television program live stream, record. They learn how to do all of these wonderful things up in that studio for things such as plays, musicals, moving up ceremonies, graduations, spelling bees, math bees, Board of Education meetings like this one, talent shows, fashion shows, sporting events, and more. We are also planning to attend the Bash Awards at Hofstra University once again, which is sponsored by ABC7 and Newsday. Here are a few photographs from our television program. You'll see this was actually last season's Bash on the right, the top right, that's a Bash, also the one underneath as well. And then to the left, two of our students who were broadcasting and served as news anchors for a segment. In our department, we have quite a few other things going on departmentally. We have begun the IAAP, or Individual Arts Assessment Pathway, where students can earn an arts specialty diploma in conjunction with Glen Cove City School District and the New York State Education Department. This year, I'm very proud to say that we have 30 students in the 9th grade who hopefully will continue with us to receive an arts diploma. We are one of the very, very few school districts on Long Island that is offering IAAP. In addition, we also have our early college initiative, which is going very well, which we started last year, to enhance college and career readiness in the arts. With Five Towns College, we have authentic arts experiences with them, Queens College, Hofstra University, and more. This year, for the first time, students were given opportunities for dual with Five Towns College. Never have they ever before received approximately, they can earn up to 12 college credits from Five Towns College in the arts prior to graduation. This is the first time that students are getting dual enrollment and getting all of these credits from Five Towns College in the arts. Students are also given more course offerings in the arts for next school year. We have included 8th grade visual art as a course in the middle school. We have also added hip hop as a dance class, and we have also added college dance choreography so that students can create their choreography and better themselves as artists. Here are some upcoming events for our department. You'll see that we have Aladdin Jr. coming soon at Findlay Middle School in about 2 weeks, very soon. Also join us for The Little Mermaid here at Glen Cove High School, April 11th through 13th. We also have a district-wide arts exhibit coming in May. We have spring music concerts coming in May. We also have a theatrical residency, which is happening at our Gribben and Daisy primary schools, happening in May, where the theater experiences will be brought to them. And we also have the Jungle Book Kids coming to Connolly on June 13th. Just a little pitch and a little promo. For those of you who are interested in coming to The Little Mermaid, as you can see on the bottom right, special Thursday pricing. If you have a child who comes in costume or comes dressed up for The Little Mermaid, they will enter for free. And they will enter for free admission and will pay $6 just for a very special magic wand under the sea. We also have special pricing for groups and senior citizens as well. So I want to thank you for your time, and I would like to thank you for your continued support for the arts and arts education in Glen Cove Schools. Thank you very much.
Mr. Nadal, thank you so much. Your work with our teachers have really resulted in some fabulous new opportunities for our students, and I thank you and the entire Fine Arts Department for all that has come to fruition to give our students additional opportunities. Thank you. Okay. At this time, I am going to turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent for Business to give us her favorite time of the year, her favorite type of performance, and that is to give us the next level of information in regard to our proposed budget process and the, are we having more technical difficulties? Oh, okay. So, Ms. Galante.
Okay. Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. As I was told, that was a tough act to follow. Where did those girls go? Okay. But anyway, in a way, it kind of tends to support what we're about to talk to tonight, the program component, because all those programs, those great programs and that Mr. Nadell has talked about are supported by the budget lines in the program component. So that's what we'll talk about tonight. The capital and the administrative components were presented at the February 7th Board of Ed meeting, and that PowerPoint is posted on the district website in case you did miss the presentation. So let's start. So in the program component, the largest component of the budget, of any school budget, is what we're going to speak to about tonight. And in that component is, we'll start off with teaching what we call regular school, and then in that line of teaching regular school, not only are there salaries for teachers, for teacher assistants, for monitors, there's also equipment, where they purchase equipment in that, workbooks, textbooks, instructional supplies for all the buildings in the district. That's what lends to that large number of $31 million. Again, the next line is teaching our special ed students. And again, teachers, teacher aides, monitors, instructional supplies, but also in that line, which really drives up that line, is tuition that we pay to special ed schools for our students that have to attend those special schools. We also pay for contractual special ed services like OT-PT, and also in that line are our students that go to the BOCES programs for special ed, and the BOCES services that are provided to them through the BOCES program. Again, that drives that line up to that $22 million. Occupational education, interesting, every year we see that go up. More and more of our students are taking advantage of occupational education. I know it as OCED, is now called vocational education. And there are two types, one for our general ed students and one for our special ed students. Again, that number is being driven up by the amount of students who are interested in going to those programs, which we encourage. Actually, not all students are college-bound students, and this kind of gives them the opportunity to see what certain careers are like and if they could pursue them. Teaching special schools. So what's in that line is our BOCES summer program, our GED program, supplies for those programs, and also what's in that line for this year, why it is higher than the previous year, or this year's budget, is that we're adding in some money for a summer school program. But you may say, we've had a summer school program for the past 3 years. But that was being funded by our stimulus money that we got from our grants from the federal government. That has ended as of this past summer. So if we want to continue a program in the summer for some of our students, we did add some money in the budget for that. Library, again, somewhat consistent, is for the librarians in all of the buildings. Again, their salaries, their support staff, and their whatever they need for instructional materials. Educational TV, Mr. Nadell touched upon that and the great work that they do. Again, that's basically salaries and some of their supplies. Our computer-assisted instruction is our IT department, which is very needed at this time. And that's also in that line is where we purchase our one-to-one iPads and Chromebooks that all of our students have and our staff are supplied with every year so they can continue with the technology that is so well needed in this world today. Attendance is for our attendance people at our middle school and our high school. Guidance, again, not too much increases here. Our guidance department, both in our middle school and high school, their salaries, their assistance, their clerical help, their supplies, anything that is needed in that department. Health services, is our nurses, also their salaries, their supplies. Also, we have to supply health services to students that go to private and parochial schools within our district, and we provide that through a BOCES COSER, so that's also included in that budget line. Our psychologists, that's where they have all their salaries, all the supplies that they need for specialized testing, for services, and also for where sometimes we need to send children for certain exams and things like that. Social workers, once again, we were paying for some of the social workers through our stimulus money. Again, that is over. So now all of our social workers and all their needs will be paid out of that social worker line. Co-curricular, that has to do with different things like the plays or productions now at all of our schools. We have a production line for our middle school, our high school, Landing, Connolly School. It's also on that line is for our high school graduation that we need funds for, and also for taping. A TV studio does all this taping, and that costs money, and that comes out of that group of lines also. Interscholastic athletics, or all our sports. Again, more students involved in sports. It involves not only the coaches, it's their supplies, it's their referee fees, it's office supplies for the athletic office, and things like that. Let's see. Transportation. Transportation services is for our transportation person and any of the things that she may need to do her job. Contract transportation, again, is on a rise. Again, once it's all connected with the amount of students that we have, how many different private and parochial schools we need to transport to. Our special ed students, again, are on vans, not buses, with one-to-one matrons on those vans for many of them. Again, the CPI for transportation is included in that. And what we have, we are going to do starting September, all vans and all buses will have cameras and audio on them. We have found over the years that video of buses can help in case there is an issue on a bus or a van, for us to figure out what exactly took place. And this way principals have a good idea who was involved, and then they can speak to the students about the incident. Summer Rec is just a small program that we offer here in the summer for athletic people. Adult Ed program, again, is offered in the fall and the spring for anyone who wants to do any adult ed class. Employee retirement, that's for all of our employees other than teachers, administrators, central office people, all our clerical, nurses, our custodians, our security people, food service, they all are in the employee retirement system. Again, the cost is driven up by whatever the retirement system says the district liability would be for that year. And again, it did go up slightly from this year that we're in now. So that drove that number up. Teacher retirement, again, is for all teachers, teachers' aides, administrators, central office people. Again, a slight increase in the district liability for next year for that retirement system. FICA has gone up just slightly for next year. Workman's comp, we kind of budget around the same amount, but it's offset by a workman's comp reserve, so it really doesn't have an impact on the district. Life insurance has gone up slightly. I think it's the first time I've seen life insurance go up a little bit since I've been here. Actually, last year was the first time. And unemployment, we put more funds into the unemployment line, but again, that's being offset by reserve, so it doesn't have any impact on the budget. Disability insurance, raised it slightly, according to what's happening right now with this year's budget. All right, health insurance, that went up significantly. The cost of health insurance meaning medical health insurance and dental insurance, has gone up. And remember, when people retire, if they qualify, they do stay on district health insurance. So we do have a lot of our retirees on our health insurance, plus our active employees on our health insurance. Administrative fees is kind of an in and out kind of a code where we have to pay, but then we do get the money back on our revenue side. And then the last line in this component is our transfer to special aid, which I have been raising every year because we're always a little short in that line. Again, that's all driven by the percentage that the district has to pay for special aid summer programs versus what the county or the state picks up. So for the 24-25 budget, in the program component, it's $95,345,760 at this point in time. I will say with some very good certainty that a lot of these lines or some of the lines will change. We're still going over staffing. We're still going over how many sections we will be having next year. We still have some work to do. These lines, again, like with any budget, if you're here for my first budget presentation, you know they can always change. So the final budget will be presented the first Board of Ed meeting in April. So by then, we will have a balanced budget. Right now, we do not have a balanced budget. If I add up all my components and all my revenue, we're not there yet, but we're working on it. So I just like, in my own mind, I like to see where the increases are, the areas where we're driving the highest increases. And they are coming from all our contractual obligations, not just salary obligations, but vendors, insurance, things like that. Those obligations have gone up. Special education, again, we have a high special ed need in the district, so that's driving up the budget. And the health insurance, again, which was a 16% increase, which was a really big increase. So if you just look at those three areas, I mean, that's most of what's driving the budget up. Some of them we can look at again and maybe, try to do some reductions. Other areas, not so much. So for our next budget meeting, March 20th, we're going to talk about a few things which are very important. We're going to talk about the tax levy limit for the 24-25 school year, which was reported to the Office of State Controller. We're going to talk about what we're going to use the $1 million that we use for the capital outlay projects. We'll talk about those projects and what they're going to cost. We're going to talk about the propositions for the May vote. You're going to have 3 propositions to vote on. And I won't go into them now, but besides the budget, there's 2 other propositions that you're going to have to vote on. And then I'll give you an update on the appropriation budget if we're there yet. If we're not there yet, we're going to have to wait to the April meeting. And that's it for tonight.
Any questions from board members?
I have a question on the occupational education. Is that only BOCES or are there other programs?
That's just BOCES.
That's basically,
Yeah, that's where sorry. Yes, that's only BOCES OCC Ed. That's where the
Okay.
students come to school half a
Right.
day, go to BOCES half a day.
okay.
And when you said we provide medical, I'm guessing nursing, for the private and parochial, that's only a percentage, right, of the, because I would imagine there are nurses for the other kids.
But we pay for their nurses.
We
pay
pay
for
the
nurses.
entire thing?
We pay for the nurses in those private schools. Yes, they come through BOCES.
But isn't it like a number of districts that would pay for the,
Because the school is in our school district, we're responsible to provide the nurses to those schools. Even though not all the students in that school are Glen Cove students, we still provide the nurses.
but what about the kids from other districts? Aren't they paying into
No.
it too? Well, okay, that,
Um,
all right.
That's how it works.
I was just wondering about the psychological services, there's a reduction there. Is that also due to stimulus funds, like the social workers, or is there?
No, they could be because of change in the staff. So you had last year or the end of, maybe the beginning of this year, you had a psychologist that now is a different title in the district, so you had to hire a new
Right.
psychologist at a lower rate.
Right, okay, I see that. And then, other thing, I'm sorry, Victoria.
That's okay, take your time.
You know, I was curious just the adult ed program, so that's a program we offer to the community, and that 14,000 is the full, that's what it covers everything, but we don't, we charge tuition,
We
but
charge.
it's
So
not,
on
it doesn't
on the
produce
revenue
income?
side, you get about the same. It's probably a little
breaks
less,
even.
depending how many students sign up,
Okay,
but you still have to pay that instructor,
sure,
you know.
okay. All right, thanks very much.
Okay? You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Victoria. Yes. It's her favorite time of the year, isn't it, Victoria? Oh, we're going to clap for her more often, because she does do a very good job and has been in the years that she's been here. I just also wanted to report along those lines that I was up in Albany since Saturday. I came back late yesterday, and part of my work there has been with these state ed officials as well as our legislators. We actually talked about our foundation aid. If you recall, last year was the first year, this school year is the first year we were fully funded under a flawed formula. I'm not the only one now speaking about this flawed formula. We are looking forward to working with State Ed Department as well as the Governor's Office to ensure that within the proposal the Governor puts out in her final budget, she sets aside money to create a more appropriate foundation aid formula that allows each district to really have accurate, well, to be able to provide the accurate information that will allow us to get the funding that is truly ours. Glen Cove has for many years not been fully funded, and only up until 3 years ago, we were at 44% of the foundation aid, even under this flawed formula. I did have work sessions with a man named Dr. Bruce Baker, as well as the Education Committee Senator, Chairperson, Shelley Mayer, and the Assembly. We're trying to make decisions as to how we can best provide guidance to allow us to come up with a formula that better suits every district in the state of New York. There are 9 Yes, I did report 8 in the past, but now I learned a 9th state has reconfigured their federal funds and are able to better provide their districts with the funding that is necessary. If you recall, in the governor's proposal for her executive budget, she did something that has never been done before. She took, part of the formula is CPI, and she took an average of the last 8 years. She dropped in, before calculating that average, the current CPI and the lowest CPI in 10 years. Had that not occurred, we would have gotten about $1 million more in our foundation aid formula, our foundation aid monies. And again, we have not had our final budget adopted by the governor. We're looking at, well, it's mandated to be received by April 1st. We do not see that budget being on time again this year. We're hoping that it's by mid-April, but the forecasters are saying probably closer to June, to the May. At one point, someone from the governor's office says, well, I don't know what the schools are all upset about. They have until July 1st to enact that budget. Yeah, so I'm seeing some shaking heads in the audience, and you're right in shaking your head, because had they realized what our budget process is, we go out to vote on Super Tuesday, the third Tuesday in May. So some very concerning situations are occurring in our state, one of which I must say is that the governor has proposed a lot of money to go to our immigrants, our migrants, and unfortunately does not necessarily believe that the money should be given to school districts. We did remind her, and our lobbyists were reminded in conversation, that the students, the children of those migrants are coming to our schools with very, very different needs that need to be supported more than just place them in the classroom. And so we're hoping that she heard our pleas, that she has received the documents that we have sent her, and we will continue to advocate until we get a budget sent to us in April. So I'm hopeful, but again, we are being warned for the future, and to that end, I want to thank again not only the Board of Education, but the work of Victoria Galante, who has consistently understood the forecast and been able to support us in presenting a budget that supports our students while being fiscally responsible. So I thank you for that. And we're looking forward to our next board meeting, where the tax levy limit will also be provided. All right. One final word. I started my day in such a very positive way, going to Daisy School and reading to kindergarten students. It was truly the best part of my day. And again, parents as reading partners, community members as reading partners, Board of Education members, and all those who are participating, I am sure are getting the same joy. I see the looks on your faces as we're leaving the buildings. It has truly been a wonderful experience, and it will go on for about another 4 days. So we look forward to more of these fun. I did go to Gribben last week, I think it was Friday, and there too I got to sit with, I just got kindergartners both buildings this year, but truly a wonderful experience, and I look forward to the remaining appointments for the rest of the week. Okay, and that is the end of the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on, the student board members report.
Hi, everyone. So the junior prom was this past weekend, and it was a very successful event. The theme was Vintage Hollywood, and the gym was decorated beautifully. This past Friday, the senior class held their annual dodgeball tournament. It was a lot of fun. The senior class also established their senior trip will be on the 28th of May to Topgolf, and the senior prom will be at the Crescent Beach Club in June. Pick a Reading Partner, also known as PARP, is taking place this week as well, and a lot of the seniors were able to go down to Daisy's school on Monday and read to the elementary students. The school play this spring is The Little Mermaid and showing on April 11th, 12th, and 13th. Also, spring sports begin this Monday, and on March 19th, the first game will be played on the new turf. And also a reminder, the Red and Green games are this Friday, so please sign up and come down to watch. And go Red. Thank you.
Go Red. David, you have to be a board member. You have to be neutral for a little while. So, okay. All right. But those are always a lot of fun.
Thanks for your report. Okay, so moving on to public participation. If anybody has questions pertaining to the agenda
Maria?
This evening.
Maria, I just wanted to mention that in Dr. Rihanna's report, the PTA Booster Club event, you had said May 14th. It's May 4th. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're right. It's May 4th, not 14th. My apologies.
Thanks for catching.
So that community event is May 4th, Saturday, May 4th. Thank you. Sorry, Ms. Jimenez.
Janet Platt, McGrady Street, Glen Cove. Have some questions pertaining to preschool and the fact we don't bus any of our preschool students, I assume. I read that. I don't know.
I'm sorry. You keep moving just keep it by your mouth so we can hear. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I assume it's still true that we don't bus our preschool students?
Don't what?
Is that true?
Don't
or
bus,
we do,
no.
Or we do
no,
bus
I'm sorry, no.
Busing. Is there busing for our preschool students?
There is no busing for our preschool students. We cannot, by law, do that.
You can't by law do that? I thought it was that you don't have to do it, but you could do it if you...
No, we cannot bus
Okay.
our preschool students.
When we don't bus preschool students, when the cost is not part of the budget, there are some students whose parents aren't going to even put in applications for them. But it strikes me that eventually there is a cost to that, even though if you can't spend it, even if you had it to spend, I don't know if you would have it to spend in the budget. But when students don't come because don't even get a chance to get chosen to come because of the cost of a cab that parents would have to take if they're a distance away and they don't have transportation of their own, those students then come to kindergarten and they are already behind. And some of those students are students who don't have family members who can help them with their schoolwork. So the cost eventually comes into our budget, it seems to me, because the more of these students there are, the more extra staffing we need to take care of students who come into kindergarten behind. I'm going to assume that there are some, I don't even know how many students come to preschool, but some of the preschool students also come in, I hate to say it for preschool and kindergarten kids, but below a level that you expect them academically to be. And it then hits us in the budget because we need to educate the children. I don't know why you're not allowed to bus the students, and I don't know what it would cost to bus all the students. I don't know how many students don't get to go to the preschool, although the parents signed them up for it, but they weren't chosen because there are not enough preschool classes for them to come to, because that would also cost us more money. But it seems to me that when we don't spend money at the beginning of the education cycle, we wind up with students who never have a chance, even though teachers may try. And it's not the children's fault. It's not the parents' fault if they themselves are unable to help them. They didn't have an education. They don't understand the education system. They just put their kids, when it comes to kindergarten, onto the bus and hope they get an education. So I think that the board and the administration ought to spend some time considering what the actual costs are. It's one thing to say we don't have room because we don't have enough, we don't have enough space, or we don't have enough teachers, we'd have to hire more teachers, but there is a cost to all of that. I'd like you to seriously sit down in an executive session someday or in public, have that discussion and do it. I've been thinking a lot about that, and I don't see the possibilities. Well, I see possibilities. I don't see it happening. Not because you might not want it to happen, but there's got to be some way that we start putting more money into the beginning of the education cycle, so that we don't wind up with the problem. We don't have second graders and third graders who are behind in math and behind in reading and behind in any number of other things, and then they become behavior problems because they're bored, because they're not being taught in a way, they don't see, even at that age, a way to catch up.
Thank you for your comments. Did you have something to say, Marie?
Yeah. So I just want to give you an idea, everyone an idea, of how we have increased the number of students and opportunities for our students in our pre-K program in the last 11 years. When I first came to the district, we had 2 half-day morning courses and 2 half-day afternoon. It was equal to about 2 hours of instruction. And so we had 4 opportunities. We had changed that to an amended full-day program, and we actually even applied for an additional grant so that we were able to open additional classes. So now we are up to 5 classes altogether, 4 in district and 1 through a local provider in the area. We also have worked very closely with the private pre-Ks in the district and child care programs so that we are able to help them work with our students to be able to properly prepare them for kindergarten experience. We've also, part of my advocacy as a superintendent on Long Island and in the state of New York is to increase the per pupil cost for preschool programs so that, or preschool students, so that we are able to better fund additional opportunities. At this point in time, it's $5,400 per student per year, and part of our grant must go to an outside provider. We are working diligently both for our general ed population as well as our special needs population. Last school year on Long Island alone, there were over 300 students awaiting placements in preschool. That is 300 students that may have not received the appropriate services for lack of placements. So I am working with a group of superintendents at the executive level in New York State as well as on Long Island to be able to increase the funding per pupil so that there are outside agencies that are closing down classes because they just can't afford to do so, which minimizes the number of placements for students. So yes, preschool, we are not allowed to provide transportation. That is something I dealt with many, many years ago, even in another school district. I actually helped a senator write a bill to try to capture this, but since preschool is not mandated, it cannot be used, it cannot be funded by public funds at this point. We are advocating to enhance opportunities for our preschoolers, both in Glen Cove and across New York State. So we will continue that fight. And I thank our staff, our assistant superintendents, for helping to be able to increase the opportunities in Glen Cove over the last 10 years.
Just want to add a couple things. One is that our program is a little more geographically dispersed now because we have a pre-school program at Landing as well as Daisy and the YMCA, so it's a little bit more
dispersed
in terms of the neighborhoods. And the other thing is just, I want to fully endorse that this board is 100% behind early intervention for our students. So I definitely, you make a very valid point, and I agree with you. So we will definitely talk more about that.
And
Thank you.
continue our advocacy.
Absolutely. Would anybody else like to make a comment, or anybody have a question pertaining to the agenda? Okay, so we'll move on. So we are at instructional report.
Based on the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve agenda item 7 on the instructional report, A, Committee on Special Education, and B, Committee on Preschool Special Education.
Can I get a motion, Maureen and Leah? Any questions or comments? All in favor? Okay, that's 5. Business affairs?
Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, a motion is requested for the approval of agenda item 8, business affairs, A, finance 1 and 2.
Motion? Megan and Angela? Any questions on those items? All in favor? It's 5.
Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, a motion is requested for the approval of agenda item 8, business affairs, B, operations 1 through 8.
Motion. Leah and Maureen.
Left or right?
Any questions or comments on those? Okay, all in favor? Okay, that's 5 of us. And now on to, well, let's do a thank you.
Yes, let's do a thank you. I want to thank Yemi Gomez, who has generously donated 3 violins to our Fine and Performing Arts Department to be used for classroom or educational use only, not for resale or fundraising purposes. So we thank Ms. Gomez for adding to our inventory so that we can provide additional assistance to our students.
And I just wanted to also mention, because I was very intrigued by this, Alexa, you gave me a little information about the National Audubon Society. Could you just say a couple sentences about that? Because I think it's a great program.
Sure. So we have been partnering with the Theodore Roosevelt Bird Sanctuary since 2020, actually. They came to us and approached us with a grant that we were able to apply for and secure. So Landing has been partnering with them since that year. We've asked that Connolly be a part of it, but they don't have enough grant funding for 2 schools. So they've provided us with funding for our native plant garden and outdoor lessons. So now we were able to secure an additional grant with them for our high school students. And our science coordinator is working closely with our science research teacher, Carrie Bunyan, to make sure that we have a trip in place for students in the scientific research class to visit salt marshes where they're going to be studying macroinvertebrates. It really works very well with the curriculum in the scientific research class because they're studying freshwater invertebrates, so it's like a perfect fit. They're going to be providing us with $4,000, and they will be paying for the transportation to kayak on the salt marshes for to get the samples from the salt marshes.
Wonderful, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we are up to personnel. Mr. DiNapoli.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9, Personnel, A certified, numbers 1 through 9.
Can I get a motion? Leah and Maureen. Questions or comments on those? All in favor? All right, that's 5 of us.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9, Personnel, B classified, numbers 1 through 9.
Motion, Megan and Angela. Questions or comments? All in favor? Okay, 5. Thank you.
And you just approved 2 retirements within the personnel section, so we want to thank both employees, a teacher and a custodial worker, for their many years of service in this district. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so unfinished business, no, I don't think we have any. Is there any new business anybody wants to bring? No, okay. Board comments, I will get us started just to acknowledge that yes, this morning was really wonderful at Daisy. I was honored to be back at that school and reading to the kids who had like a zillion questions, including how old I am, which I answered honestly. And I thought that was real. They're so curious and they're so wonderful, so it was really great. Tomorrow, some of us, I guess, will be going to Landing, and I'm looking forward to that as well. So, great. I love PARP. It's wonderful. Yes. Anybody else have anything they want to share? No? Yes? Okay.
I just wanted to thank Mr. Nadel again for all of the opportunities for our kids. I can't see you, but I know you're over there. And thanks for all the other administrators for being here. We see you all, so thank you all for being here. There was one other thing. No, I think that was it. So thank you, guys.
I want to add on the organization of PARP, which I agree, Daisy, was so fun this morning. I'm looking forward to going to Landing tomorrow. But just the efforts of the teachers, the administrators, the PTAs, when you go into schools and you see all the decorations and the students love it and it gets everybody in the spirit. I just want to thank everybody who organized and put all those efforts into it. It looks great.
Okay. So moving on to our final public participation. If anybody has non-agenda items they want to ask about or comment on, please come forward. You have 3 minutes. Sign in with Ida.
Janet Blatt, McGrady Street, Glen Cove. I want to make sure that you understand that I wasn't criticizing the preschool program as it exists. I was not commenting on the fact that it's not more, providing more students now with preschool than it was. I was simply saying that there are issues that need to be dealt with, and however that can be taken care of, it should be. If it's not financially possible, I think you need to start looking at what money gets put there as opposed to someplace else in the budget. That's a hard choice to make, but somebody, it seems to me, at some point has to say, if we let it go at the beginning, we're causing ourselves issues for the students and for the staff down the line. That's all I was saying. I would like to know how many students are in the program now, and how many students have their parents or guardians make application for them, but they don't make it in because we still don't have room for everybody.
Just for, to respond to how many students are in the program now, there are 98 as of today.
The wait list for preschool also varies from year to year.
Say that again?
The wait list for the pre-K program varies
We
from
don't
year
have
to
it?
year.
No.
So this year there's none. In prior years, who knows? But right now there's none, so that's great.
Yeah, we've had varying degrees, and sometimes parents have put their name in the school district one. They may have moved, they may have decided to bring one closer to their work. So that wait list, many of those students come off the wait list and go right into our programs within the first couple of weeks of school.
Hi, I'm Caroline Dolgard Clark, a parent in the district, and I'm here tonight to ask the Board of Ed to review the athletic department's handbook. It's a handbook that's used to apply to our student athletes. I'd like to ask the board, and I understand that this may be a lengthy process and I'm not looking for an answer this evening, but I would like the board to review and see if there's areas where changes might be appropriate and where there are certain areas covered in the handbook that would be better codified in a board policy. In particular, I would like the board to look at a statement in the athletic department's handbook that says that an athlete is not able to participate in 2 sports during the same season, including cheerleading. That's a quote from the handbook. Cheerleading is singled out. I don't know the rationale behind this prohibition. New York State allows athletes to participate in 2 sports. Section 8 allows athletes to participate in 2 sports in the same season. Some districts do not allow it. Some districts do allow it. I appreciate that there are benefits to having restrictions on our student athletes to ensure that they're maintaining their academics and we have the appropriate level of fitness. At the same time, I would like the board to take a look at this because I do think that there are opportunities our student athletes are missing, particularly if a student is being recruited for 2 sports that occur in the same season. That student is missing out on opportunities by not being able to participate and show those results in an official manner to a potential college coach. Again, I understand that there may be guardrails around this, and I appreciate academic performance. Our students are students before they're athletes, but many other districts find a way to make this work. Many other districts look at individual cases and find ways to make this work. Thank you. I'd like to ask a different question on a different topic if I still have time. I'd like to ask the board to comment if they are able on the status of the planning board's review of a new development that would have its driveway as proposed directly across the street from the middle school driveway, such that the 3-lane driveway of the new development would face the 4-lane driveway of the middle school and the turning lanes would intersect.
Well, thank you for your comments. We'll definitely consider them. Regarding the planning board, I mean, that's definitely of concern, and, you know, having gone to the meeting and heard that their traffic study was not very thorough, I thought, and I think it's a good idea if the district possibly supplies drone footage showing, you know, at the peak times of entrance and exit to the school. I think it's a little bit of a conundrum because it's a county road that we're dealing with, so, but I think whatever we could do to move forward, because I don't see any reason why we can't have a light of some kind, even if it's temporarily active. I see it in other places in the county, so yeah.
We did supply some still shots, but we did say we could do the drone footage, and I think that would better, more accurately provide them an understanding of just what the traffic is during the day, both at the, specifically at the beginning of the school day and at the end of the school day. And even with the pickup for pre-K, it really does impact that area as well. So I know that we will continue providing them information that they may readjust their proposals.
And I will say also at that meeting, they indicated, they being the planning board, indicated that they wanted another study done, another traffic study done. I don't know what that looks like, who does it, so maybe it's worth following up also to see what their plans are on that.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody else have questions or comments? Okay, in that case, I want to thank Glen Cove TV for being here and documenting our meeting. Thanks very much for streaming it. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Angela and Megan, all in favor? That's 5. Okay, good night, everybody. Thank you for being here.
I don't vote, but I know. This